unadapted and unabridged, but you have a whole lot of different reading skills. So if you were an English teacher and reading Tom Sawyer, and you had somebody in your class who was maybe ESL or very low reading, you could find another book about Tom Sawyer that they could read at home that maybe would give them the overview and an idea about Tom Sawyer and still be able to read the book Tom Sawyer, even if they're not reading the total unabridged Tom Sawyer, okay? So there's a lot of the classics and books like that are written at different levels. But if you look at your book, you'll notice that it gives interest level, and if it is a high-low book, it'll give reading level and interest level. It'll give you both of those. We're going to talk, do you know what ATO, I tried to find out what ATOS stood for, but I couldn't find out what it stood for. I just kept seeing the word ATO, the acronym ATOS. So I'm not sure what that is, but they will have, I'll show you the ATOS stuff. It's really neat because there's even an analyzer where you can go in and you can put a text, you can put an excerpt in, you can put a whole book in, and it will tell you the reading level of that book. But if you, for example, have a newspaper article and you want to find out what that reading level is, you can put in some of that newspaper article and find out the reading level. It's really
Guys,
cool.
I know Lexile was in the chapter. Did you guys see the ATOS in there?
You didn't see ATOS? Okay. I'm not sure what it stands for, but I found some cool things about it. And it is another one that is an accepted reading level. So the book level for this is 6.2. You'll see that the interest grades is 4th grade through 8th grade. Gives you the word count, and gives you further information in terms of buying it or getting it. So this is great for parents when they're trying to find a reading level for their own child. This is a great source for them. Whoops. Did everybody find one? Okay. So notice this is the abridged version of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, unabridged. So you have those different levels. And the abridged is 4th through 8th. See what the unabridged is. It's 5.7. Still 4th through 8, but it's a different level. Reading level, unabridged.
And those AR points, I remember when the kids were in school, they had to do the AR points.
Yes.
The difference in those two books, the first one was a 1 and this one's a 6.
It's a 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is really built for if your school uses those AR points, then this shows you that level, and it shows the parents the level for those AR points. Okay. Any questions about that? This ATOS analyzer, it has a readability formula, and it is also used throughout. But what I liked about this site, and again, it's this Renaissance site, but if you scroll down on that link, it explains explains Lexile measure, and it explains what ATOS is. But when you scroll down further, you'll see you can analyze text, analyze an excerpt, and analyze the book, which is just really cool. And again, perfect for parents too, because this is just simple to use, and it gives them a lot of guidance. So that's that ATOS. And it's used a lot with Common Core standards. So if you're working in a school that uses Common Core standards, then this may be something that they use a lot. Okay. Scholastic guided reading. Now, this is a great, now I know that Scholastic books are probably more geared toward elementary and middle school, but at secondary you're also in middle school. So I went ahead and added that. Scholastic for their books has a adapted their own reading level, and it's done by letters. So if you pull up a book that is a scholastic book and it has the letter A, you know it's a beginning reader. And it moves forward like that. But if you notice, they also link that scholastic guided reading level, they link it to the diagnostic reading assessment. And a lot of schools are using that. I checked with, my sister-in-law is an instructional coach at a school here in Edmond, and so she works a lot with teaching teachers how to do reading and special reading and math and all of that kind of stuff. And she said that in Edmond, at least at their school, they use the diagnostic reading assessment. So that is an assessment that they use. So when they know what level that child is reading at based on that assessment, then it links back to the scholastic book. And scholastic is huge in schools. I just, every semester I go with my granddaughters to their school, the scholastic book fair. I remember that when I was a kid, the excitement of the scholastic book fair. And do they do that in high schools? I don't know that they do it in high school.
They do it at middle school.
Middle school they do it, yeah. So, and as teachers, if you guys are aware of this, as teachers, you can get on the list and you can go to the Scholastic Book Warehouse out here and buy books so cheap.
As well as, and this is something that at OU, the College of Education does. They have a Scholastic Book Fair every year for the pre-service teachers. I don't know what all is involved in that, but it might want to be something that
we might think
we
about.
want to think about to increase our library.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really helpful. And I've gone out there to the warehouse and I've purchased children's books out there because I get them like half off out there when I go to the warehouse sale. So if you get on that reading list and wherever you're at, if there's a Scholastic Warehouse nearby, get on that list and you'll get an email of when they have that sale. And it's a really cool place to go purchase books. But again, it's when you're looking at scholastic books, that's what you're seeing is those letters, and that's what it's about. And it's based all on assessment. It's based on the DRA and it's based on Lexile scores. They just had to come up with their own. But again, see how much easier that would be for parents to know their kids are reading at a C level, so they need to try to find books that are CD if they want to challenge. So that's real simple for parents. As teachers, you need to understand that so that you can explain that to parents. Okay. Any questions about any of that? Get in there and play with that for this assignment that you have. These may be really helpful sites for you for this assignment if you have to find certain levels of books, categories of books, things like that. This might be helpful. All right. When you are in the Edmond schools or Oklahoma City schools, your school should have access to these databases. These databases are part of the statewide databases that are available for all libraries at this point, unless more and more is cut nationally and more is cut from the state. But as of right now, we have them. You're used to EBSCO when you've searched our databases and things like that. So these are databases that are provided by EBSCO, but they're going to look different. So if you'll go ahead and click on like the Explore High School search, you'll see that it's much more graphic oriented than what we have, because again, they're wanting to engage those students. We probably should have it more graphic for you guys too, because it's much more engaging. But we expect you just to be able to get in there and do your search. So you'll notice that you can do it by category. But what they've done with these databases is they have pulled out the databases that the state provides that are appropriate and at their level for secondary. And those are this database only includes those databases that would be appropriate for that level. Same way with middle school, same way with elementary. And so if you, they can do just a search like they would with anything else, but let's see if it does it for high school, and I should have checked on this for high school. I know it does for kids. And it may not do it for high school. Let me go back. A lot of these will give you the Lexile level. Let me see if it does with middle school, if it's just with children. Let's say you're doing a unit on Mark Twain. Sorry about this. I was thinking that it gave the Lexile level for the middle school and high school too, and it may just be for the children's. Because I'm not seeing it here. So, sorry about that. But for the children's, it does, for those articles for the children, it does give you the Lexile level for many of the, for the articles that are pulled up, so that you can see what reading level that actual article is. And I thought it did for let's see if this does. Yeah, there you go, reading level. Okay, so here's your Lexile right here, is 1330. So the specific Mass Ultra database does, and the children's gives you that Lexile. But if you scroll down, you can see if it gives it. If it does too, when you do your advanced search, you can even search by Lexile reading level on your advanced search, which is nice, because this way you're getting in where you're teaching your students how to do research through the databases and articles and things like that, not just books. And to be able to then develop that according to the reading level that they can read at is great. So if you are a math teacher and you want them to find articles on whatever it is with math, some form of geometry or something, then you could give them their search terms, but have them search by those specific Lexile levels too. Do that privately with that student. You don't want everybody in the world, I'm reading this a little longer, because students do that enough already. So do that privately, but you can, so that you are engaging them at the level that they can understand and read. Okay. So these databases, these Explorer databases, should be available within your classes. So if you are doing practicums, or you're working with, you're tutoring an individual student, or when you're doing your student teaching and you're working with a unit, keep this in mind. Then we have a link here just for some helpful websites for you guys. Again, if you find them helpful, keep them in your portfolio, or keep them in something that you're using, so that you know this would be a good source to go back to when I am in the classroom. All right, and so we have some links there. I've described them here. There's some really good sources. I've also linked to your Oklahoma Academic Standards. Your Oklahoma State Department of Education educators page. That is a huge website, but this one directs you specifically to the educators page. The study guides for certification examinations, there's a link here. Okay, so there's just some links that might be helpful to you. So what I want to do now is just give you some time. You have that project, right? You have that. Okay. So let's just spend some time, and let's just do some searching, seeing if you can pull up the books while I'm here, and maybe can kind of guide you along. Use these resources that I've showed you in terms of finding things. When you're looking at art, if you're looking at age level, make sure that you can use that high interest low vocabulary search. If you're looking at trying to adapt books for the age level and the interest level and reading level for a student. So just use some of those things. Go back to the library research guide to refresh your memory and give you tips. And then for math, if you're interested in selecting, checking out these books that I pulled up, and come over here, I'm going to show these Professor Bowman. Okay, so